The law was given for us to keep, but nobody could. Nobody on the face of the earth could keep the law.
Romans 2:23, that thou makest thy boast of the law, through breaking the law dishonorest thou God. Now, this is to show the point today that no one can keep the law. Again, re-quoting 23 here from chapter 3, for all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. That means no one has ever kept the law but Jesus Christ.
율법을 지키면 복을 받는다고 말을 했지만
It says that if you keep the laws, you will be blessed.
지구 위에 율법을 온전히 지키는 한 명도 없습니다.
But not one person in the world succeeded in keeping the law.
Now let's see the Bible verses that the Christians misuse to come up with the doctrine that everyone has sinned and nobody has kept the law.
For all have sinned, and come short of the glory of God. Wherefore, as by one man sin entered into the world, and death by sin, and so death passed upon all men, for that all have sinned.
Now, if you notice with the two verses that were brought out, with Romans 3 and Romans 5, it says, all have sinned.
Nevertheless, death reigned from Adam to Moses, even over them that had not sinned after the similitude of Adam's transgression, who is the figure of him that was to come.
Now, if you notice, earlier, the verses that were read out, it said all have sinned. But then, the verse we just read says, there were people who did not sin after the similitude of Adam. From Adam to Moses, there were people who did not sin. So let's go see who these people were that did not sin.
By faith, Abel offered unto God a more excellent sacrifice than Cain, by which he obtained witness that he was righteous, God testifying of his gifts, and by it, he being dead, yet speaketh.
Sem and Seth were in great honor among men, and so was Adam, above every living thing in creation.
Now we're going to see how Shem and Seth were righteous and had great honor among men.
And Adam knew his wife again, and she bare a son, and called his name Seth. For God, said she, hath appointed me another seed instead of Abel, whom Cain slew. And to Seth, to him also there was born a son, and he called his name Enos. Then began men to call upon the name of the Lord.
And Adam and his wife mourned for Abel 4 weeks of years, 99, 127 a.m. And in the 4th year of the 5th week, 130 a.m., they became joyful. And Adam knew his wife again, and she bare him a son, and he called his name Seth. For he said, God has raised up a second seed unto us on the earth instead of Abel, for Cain slew him. And in the 5th week of the 5th Jubilee, 225, 31 a.m., Seth took Azurah his sister to be his wife, and in the 4th year of the 6th week, 235 a.m., she bare him Enos. He began to call on the name of the Lord on the earth.
Now we're going to show what made Shem honorable.
And Noah was 498 years old when he took Naamah for a wife. And Naamah conceived and bare a son, and he called his name Japheth, saying, God has enlarged me in the earth. And she conceived again and bare a son, and he called his name Shem, saying, God has made me a remnant to raise up seed in the midst of the earth. And Noah was 502 years old when Naamah bare Shem, and the boys grew up and went in the ways of the Lord, in all that Methuselah and Noah their father taught them. Haran was 42 years old when he begat Sarai, which was in the 10th year of the life of Abram. And in those days Abram and his mother and nurse went out from the cave, as the king and his subjects had forgotten the affair of Abram. And when Abram came out from the cave, he went to Noah and his son Shem, and he remained with them to learn the instruction of the Lord and his ways. And no man knew where Abram was. And Abram served Noah and Shem his son for a long time. And Abram was in Noah's house 39 years, and Abram knew the Lord from 3 years old, and he went in the ways of the Lord until the day of his death, as Noah and his son Shem had taught him. And all the sons of the earth in those days greatly transgressed against the Lord, and they rebelled against him, and they served other gods. and they forgot the Lord who had created them in the earth. And the inhabitants of the earth made unto themselves at that time every man his god, gods of wood and stone, which could neither speak, hear, nor deliver. And the sons of men served them, and they became their gods.
See, Shem and Seth were law keepers. They kept the law. That's what made them righteous and honorable among men. Let's see some more righteous men.
And Enoch lived 65 years, and begat Methuselah. And Enoch walked with God after begat Methuselah 300 years, and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Enoch were 365 years. And Enoch walked with God, and he was not, for God took him.
And Methuselah acted uprightly in the sight of God, as his father Enoch had taught him. And he likewise, during the whole of his life, taught the sons of men wisdom, knowledge, and the fear of God. And he did not turn from the good way, either to the right or to the left.
These are the generations of Noah. Noah was a just man, and perfect in his generations. And Noah walked with God. And the Lord said unto Noah, Come thou and all thy house into the ark, for thee have I seen righteous before me in this generation.
So if we're keeping track, that's Abel, Seth, Shem, Enoch, Methuselah, and Noah, all being law keepers before Moses. Let's get some more witnesses of people being law keepers before Moses.
I will make thy seed to multiply as the stars of heaven, and will give unto thy seed all these countries, and in thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed, because that Abraham obeyed my voice, and kept my charge, my commandments, my statutes, and my laws, and delivered just Lot, vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked. For that righteous man dwelling among them, and seeing and hearing, vexed his righteous soul from day to day with their unlawful deeds. And he left all that he had in Joseph's hand. And he knew not all he had, save the bread which he did eat. And Joseph was a goodly person, and well favored. And it came to pass after these things, that his master's wife cast her eyes upon Joseph, and she said, Lie with me. But he refused, and said unto his master's wife, Behold, my master wotteth not what is with me in the house, and he hath committed all that he hath to my hand. There is none greater in this house than I, neither hath he kept back anything from me but thee, because thou art his wife. How then can I do this great wickedness and sin against God? And it came to pass, as she spake to Joseph day by day, that he hearkened not unto her, to lie by her, or to be with her.
So clearly there were people that did not sin after the similitude of Adam. Many men of the Bible that did not sin. Now lastly, we're going to show what Paul meant when he said all have sinned, because a lot of Christians will tell you all have sinned means everybody in the whole world, everybody on the whole earth. But that's not what it means, especially because the law was not given to everyone. So let's get two quick precepts that show what all have sinned means.
Who gave Jacob for a spoil in Israel to the robbers? Did not the Lord, he against whom we have sinned? For they would not walk in his ways, neither were they obedient unto his law. Yea, all Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore the curse is poured upon us, and the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of God, because we have sinned against him.
So, now we know that all have sinned is referring to Israel, the nation, and we also know that there are many people who did not sin after the similitude of Adam. So we hope and pray that this lesson was edifying and educational. Shalom to the 12 tribes of Israel.
The Lord bless thee, and keep thee. The Lord make his face shine upon thee, and be gracious unto thee. The Lord lift up his countenance upon thee, and give thee peace.